blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
My dear brothers and sisters, we gather here today in holy love to celebrate the feast of Our Lady of the Most Holy Rosary. I want to begin by reminding you the message of God the Eternal Father on August the 17th. God the Eternal Father, in that message, said that today heaven is going to meet earth. God the Father is going to send the Blessed Virgin Mary to come to Holy Love. And when he comes, the Blessed Virgin Mary is going to bring so many blessings. When I heard that message, I asked myself, how come that God the Eternal Father is not telling us what blessings Mary, our mother, is going to bring? And what I discovered is that God the Father does not want to name the blessings. He wants the people who are going to receive the blessings to give the names to those blessings. He wants you, at the end of this pilgrimage, to go home and tell people what blessings you have received. And God the Father has done that for a very good reason. Because this is exactly what happened on October 7, 1571. When the church, in one occasion, was able to give Mary, our mother, 3 names or 3 titles. On October 7, 1571, Mary, our mother, was called Our Lady of Victory. On that particular day, she was also called Our Lady of the Rosary. And on that particular day, she was also called Mary, the Help of the Christians. 3 names in one occasion. And that occasion was not even an apparition. That occasion was not even a locution. And that occasion was just a battle. The Battle of Lepanto. But in that particular battle, the church was able to see 3 blessings coming from heaven. And the blessing was victory over evil, the power of the Rosary, and the help that we received from Mary, our mother. And that's why I'm saying that as heaven is going to meet earth today here in Holy Love, there are going to be blessings, and it is up to you to name what blessings Mary, our mother, is going to give to each one of us. Let me just give you a small context of what we are celebrating today. So in the Battle of Lepanto on October 7, 1571, it was a battle between Christianity and Islam. The Ottoman, who was a Muslim, had conquered most of the places around the Mediterranean Sea. And wherever he went, when he captured Christians, he turned them into slaves. So after conquering all these areas, he was now facing Rome, the hub of Christianity, the hub of Western civilization. And he said, I am going to turn Rome into Islam. And when I go in there, I don't want to see any crucifix or cross on top of the Vatican. I want to see the minaret. I want to see the moon. Because that is where Islam is going to take root. And here is the Pope facing an enemy. And according to the people who know the art of war, the victory was already given to the Ottoman because he had outnumbered the people who were supporting the church. And that's why on that particular day, Pope Pius V decided to open all the churches in Rome. And he said the churches are going to open day and night. And when people go into these churches, I want them to do three things. Ask for the intercession of Mary. And when you are asking for the intercession of Mary, you are going to use the title, Mary, Help of the Christians. And the prayer that you are going to offer is going to be the Rosary. So according to history, the two forces met around 12 in the afternoon. And by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the people who were behind the church started winning the war. And by the end of the day, in the evening, the forces that were supporting the church were able to conquer the Ottoman, and Rome was kept safe. And the people looked at what happened on that particular day. The number of soldiers that the Ottoman lost, the number of slaves who were Christians that were freed. We are even told that when those Christians were freed, they ended up joining the forces of the Pope to fight the Ottoman. And at one point, the Ottoman was able to run out of the weapons, and what he was going to do, he went out and they started picking up lemons and fruits and started throwing them at the Christians. And people were laughing at them. What has happened to the Ottoman, the arrogant leader who thought he was going to take Rome? So the church started looking at this particular event, and guess what? They came up with 3 names that were given to Mary, our mother. Because Pope Pius looked at this particular event, and what he saw was the victory of Mary, our mother, and he decided to make October 7 the feast of Our Lady of Victory. His predecessor came, Pope Gregory VIII. He looked at the same event, and what he saw was the victory of the Rosary. And that's why he said October 7 is going to be the feast of Our Lady of the Rosary. And then Leo XIII, Pope, he came and he looked at the same event and he said, but look at what the soldiers were carrying on that particular day. They were carrying the flags, and on the flags there was a picture of Mary with the title, Help of the Christians. And he said, this event is going to be about Mary, Help of the Christians. And by this time, the church had already decided that in the litany of Loreto, which is the litany given to Mary with the 50 titles, Then we are going to add one more title, Mary, Help of the Christians. So what the people were doing were actually naming the blessings that God had given to the church on one single event. And that's why I'm telling you today, my dear brothers and sisters, do not worry that God has not named the blessings Mary, our mother, is going to give us. I know we are used to come over here and we hear we are going to get the paternal blessing, or we are going to get the patriarchal blessing, or we are going to get the apocalyptic blessing. But today, God just says, I am going to give you my blessing through Mary, our mother. Because you know what? On this particular day, October 7th, I totally believe that there were 3 passages in the Bible that were fulfilled. Genesis 3, Luke chapter 1, and Revelation chapter 12. Why am I saying that? Go to Genesis chapter 3, which is about the fall of Adam and Eve. After Adam and Eve had committed the sin, God decided to address the devil or the serpent. And God told the serpent, I am going to put enmity between you and the woman, and the woman offspring and your offspring. And the woman is going to crush your head. And the way the woman is going to crush your head, she is going to use her heel. And you are going to try to bite the heel. And for so many years, people were wondering, what is the heel of Mary that she used to crush the head of the devil? And they discovered that the heel of Mary is the church. That Mary, our mother, was going to crush the head of the devil by using the church. Here in Holy Love, do you know the heel of Mary, our mother? The remnant faith. If you keep faith to the tradition and you are pleasing God all the time, and you ask for the intercession of Mary, our mother, you are the heel that is going to crush the head of the devil. That's what was discovered on that particular day. And that's why when I look at you, my dear brothers and sisters, I know that you are getting so much flag and so many names out there. I do not worry about that. Because people do not know that you are the heel of Mary, our mother. On that particular day, October 7th, Luke chapter 1 was fulfilled, because in Luke chapter 1 we come across the Magnificat. If you go to the Magnificat, you are going to see that the first part of the Magnificat talks about what God had done for Mary, our mother. But in the second part, it is talking about the arm of God. Look at the Magnificat. It is talking about the arm of God. That in the arm of God there is so much strength that the arrogant are going to fall down, the rulers are going to be eliminated, people who are hungry are going to be filled, and the rich are going to go away empty. What Mary was talking about on that particular day, the Pope was able to see that the Ottoman Empire was the arrogant leader who thought he could go into Rome and take away the mitre of the Pope and then put the bodine that you see the Muslims wear. That's what he thought was going to happen on that particular day. And Mary did not have that. And that's why the church is always teaching us that when you and I are praying the rosary, We think that we are holding the rosary in our hands, and in actuality, we are actually holding the arm of Mary in our hands. And the arm of Mary that we are holding in our hands when we pray the rosary, that arm is already in the arms of God. So in the end, we are not just holding the hand of Mary, we are also holding the hand of God. And the victories that have been named in the Magnificat are not just meant for the past, they are meant for you. So you can look at every single victory in the Magnificat, and you know that when you take the rosary and you put it in your hand, those victories, my dear brothers and sisters, they are in your hands. So why do you have to worry about your personal reputation? Why do you have to worry about what anybody else is going to say? All you have to do is to let them know that you come here to Holy Love because in your hand, the victories of the Magnificat are right there before you. And then finally, when we come to Revelation chapter 12, that is when we see the triumph of the lady who comes and appears dressed in the sun, and on her feet there is a moon, and that woman has 12 stars on her head. A few months ago, Deacon Francis here was giving a homily about the rosary. And for the first time, I heard something that I've never heard from any other priest, because he told us that Mary, our mother, is a 12-star general. I don't know if he was able to realize that he was making a statement about Revelation chapter 12. Mary, our mother, is a 12-star general, and she has the weapon of mass destruction, and the weapon of mass destruction that the deacon was talking about is the rosary. So on that particular day, can you see, my dear brothers and sisters, one occasion, it was not even an apparition, it was not even a locution, it was in a battle, but people were able to see the blessings that God had in store for them. And that's why today, I don't have to stand here and give you all the miracles that have been reported that are associated with the rosary, because we are going to spend the whole day here. The deacon was talking about you not just wearing the rosary, but praying the rosary. But there is one story that I have to tell you before I finish my homily. Sometimes it is okay just to wear the rosary. Because you know what? People are watching. People are watching. When you wear your rosary outside your clothes, people are watching. Because in that small book, The Secrets of the Rosary, there is a story about King Nicholas. The man who was wearing a big rosary around his waist, but there was no single day that he prayed the rosary. Little did he know that people will always look at him and look at that big rosary around his waist, and they were encouraged to pray it. So he is the one wearing it, and other people are praying it. So don't worry about just wearing the rosary. You never know who you are influencing. Because as I said yesterday, when that particular king died, the same thing that I said yesterday happened to him. When he died, God wanted to judge him and send him to hell. And Mary, our mother, intervened and he said, no, can you just give him a moment to go back? Give him a moment. Because what he did by wearing that rosary had a positive impact on his people, and that king was given a second chance, And when he came back, he was able to pray the rosary before his people. So my dear brothers and sisters, on this day, go out, wear your rosary, and go out and pray the rosary, and open your hearts, because Mary, our mother, just as she gave blessings on October 7, 1571, she has a blessing for each one of you. May God bless each one of us. In the name of the Father,